Dorothea, how are you? Very much welcome with us here today.
I'm so excited to be here because when I hear now the lectures from today, I feel that everything falls into its place. My being here because I am a post-institutional teacher.
Nice.
I left all the institutions I was teaching for on purpose, not because I had to, because I felt that what the things I want to transmit to others, they are not possible in this way, how the institutions give me space for it. So I really tried to open up high school a lot. I did the workshops, it was called art workshop, where the students could choose what they want to learn. But it wasn't possible for on long term to press it onto the schedule I had to fulfill for the school.
All right.
So many things like that happened. So finally I always said, okay, I tried, and then I left and I tried to teach, or even I wouldn't say the word teach, I would say transmit my knowledge to others and facilitate the access to knowledge. That's my task, and not even a teacher, because it's hierarchic. Because the minute I transmit information, I learn.
That's so true. That's so true. I've been a teacher as well for a long time, and well, we have certain elements here: the play element from Manuel, right? The teaching word, and also I'm thinking about the education word. I've been trying to avoid the education word with the event and focus on learning, right? Because we can learn from each other. And well, I won't take a lot of your time now, so because we want to go into the project, right? It's the joy of weaving, and we have maybe an example here. Would you tell us a little bit more about the joy of weaving?
You have one very important aspect, and I see the way you touch it. It's the haptic element that you have a joy of touching the material. And if you see these things here, they have been worn out clothes, used textile. It's just donations of people. And many times they have even a history. So I don't know, maybe we can show some pictures now.
Absolutely. Let me
the first picture you see is I can talk about it, and it's in China. And I worked with women which have been working in factories of producing T-shirts. So they were so super excited that they have another job here. They don't have this in the chain.
This one.
This is the one before, in the chain of, no, in the beginning of the, it doesn't matter, I talk about everything. In the chain of producing a T-shirt, they had just a certain task. And now by cutting those T-shirts again into strips, they could see that there is a result or something they could easily do themselves, because they cannot do, when they work in the factory for T-shirts, they cannot find a result. They are just a part of a chain. And here they touch the same material. It was in China, and they can construct something, even something what doesn't make sense. You know, this is a donut or a ball. It doesn't have to be something full of sense. So here I can say, for example, some textile museums are interested in my work, and then they see the result and they say, oh, maybe it's not art. So I say, that's what I'm not doing. I'm doing the interaction,
the process
with the people. And I think it's a presentation where a lot of other, can you go back?
Yeah,
because there are pictures in Mexico, and where
I'm going to close this one.
With the people which,
so this is it.
So, and if you just click through, so we see different countries.
This is China?
This was in China, yeah. And then, for example, when I approach a place with my project, I'm not going there like, now I'm teaching you to do that and that. I'm sitting on a bench in the street, in the center of the city, and I'm cutting my clothes, and then I'm starting to weave and to knot, and people approaching me. And for example, in Norogachi, North Mexico, many women came because they are weaving there from pine needles.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, I find myself showing them my way of weaving, and they show me how they weave, and at the end I donate them what we did, they take what we did together, and mainly I got so much presence of what they are doing. So for me, this aspect of having an exchange, because you are never the one who knows more than others, you know different aspects of something. So this thing is so literary, because we are weaving, we are combining stripes, we are combining information to something else. And we are also, for this, we have to cut and to take things apart in pieces to be able to construct something new.
Yeah.
So
should I?
Yeah, just go on. So, oh, this is the last one.
Oh.
Maybe it's just jumping to the last. This is in Mexico, for example.
Okay.
So the result sometimes is something very simple like this, like a ball or like little patches. And I don't declare it as an art piece which has to be in the museum. They can use it to, I don't know, to put a hot pot on it if they want to. But you can also do something where you have the feeling it represents something of me. So for example, I made a workshop with women who had a big great loss in their life, and they brought the cloth of their, for example, a lady lost her son in the age of 21. So she didn't know, she didn't want to wear the stuff, she didn't want to leave it in the cupboard. So we cut it in pieces and she wove the carpet.
A way of grieving.
Yes,
right?
it's grieving. And how all this started, it started with the shirts of my father. Well, after he passed, I made a performance with the shirts and I cut them all in half. And then I was invited to a gallery, and I decided to sit in the gallery and cut the shirts into strips and to construct something what gives me a memory, but is also transforming the former information. And I think this is the important thing for any kind of education, that this transformation takes place from one thing to another. And it doesn't have to be goal oriented.
Yeah.
I want to go there. But what we can learn is to be aware of the process that we are transforming, something we already have. Because, for example, today in the afternoon, I will have a workshop for 3 hours where people come, and I'm sure everybody is able to this one, to do something out of it. So we have also, it's really funny, it just jumps from, it's not really working well.
Maybe
you go back to the
here.
Oh, okay. So here you have Aboriginal children in North Mexico. They were really so skilled, you know. Sometimes I work with children here in Europe, and it's really hard for them sometimes just to learn to use the fingers in a way where they can feel. And those kids, they were so fast and in crafting. So one of my learning mediums is the crafting and the analog thing. We have, it's great what we're all doing with the e-learning and so on, but it's also an isolated learning. So I don't know if you'll find in our chaotic presentation, this, for example, is also an art academy.
Okay.
And the most important thing is we are doing also big installations together. And the learning is coming by fun, you know. We have so much fun while doing this.
Which is important.
Yeah. And the other thing is, while you are working with your hands, once you got kind of the technique, you can let your thoughts flow.
Yeah.
They are just going somewhere, and all of a sudden somebody says something, then somebody else, but it doesn't have to be a speech, a lecture, or a dialogue even.
Yeah.
Because while you're doing something, it's not embarrassing that you are not like keeping up the dialogue. It's just you can talk while I don't know which one to press now.
This one. Up.
Okay, up.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah. So this is, for example, something where all the audience, you know, is also this weaving is interweaving. People are coming together to connect with others, and also to understand that they are themselves able to create something, and they just don't have to label it.
It's a
And I
beautiful
get- yeah.
metaphor. It's a beautiful, because
Yeah.
it's like we're living our own lives, right? Like in this conversation, I'm learning so much from what your experience, and I'm listening and I understanding so many things,
Mhm.
right? And here, while you were listening to
Of
Manuel,
course, yes.
we are weaving actually more
Yeah,
knowledge and
exactly.
stuff.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
really beautiful.
Yeah, and even I think as an artist, I'm free to call every project I'm doing as art, and that's what I try to transfer also to the people, that they don't, because then when they start once, they say, but what shall I do? Shall I make a bag? Shall I make a carpet? I said,
Doesn't matter.
it
right?
doesn't matter.
It doesn't
really.
really matter.
And it doesn't have to even, it must feel the way you do it, it must feel for you that you have you gathered skill, for example.
And I find that the more interesting thing about this, you can go up. Yeah. Is that the transformation
Mhm.
process, right, that happens with the dialogue and the participation and the exchange, and it's personal, but it's also the group, right?
Mhm.
And there's always a new thing. In this case, it's like a physical object, right? Like
These are the ladies, and
where?
they're mourning ladies.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
This is wonderful.
This is with students, for example, where we filled a room and we continued with the audience. They also you learn it very fast, so they learn to add and to add. So in fact, it's possible to put somewhere a corner. Also at school, for example, where during the breaks, the pupils can come and continue one work. So you can, if you approach a piece like this, you can see, oh, 1 week ago I made this, and now somebody else added. So this is also a metaphor for me for learning, that it's not just me gathering information. I put something in the space, then somebody is adding something. And then when I look back, I see, oh, it grew. So this kind of
it can
work.
be physical or it's just in the place, right? In the situation. Lovely. This is wonderful.
So this is one of the last projects we did. And this was a women project, because we figured out, of course, that the crafting tradition is very old. And we wanted to bring it also to younger generations, especially after the COVID situation, that we are so isolated for such a long time. The youngsters are very good at the technical skills, but they have a lack of physical output
and social, right?
Yeah, social and physical output. So this is the teepee. I did the construction, and I invited in 4 days, like 30 hours, and each hour another woman to tell her story, or to tell, she had this slot of 1 hour where she can
to share a story.
Yeah, and while we were weaving together this teepee, we had always one guest sharing a story, and there was no digital taping, it was just all live, and everybody who was there was the archive in a way. And
this is the documentation.
Yeah,
right?
This is the documentation. Yeah, of course. So in this time when I listened to all the stories, and I learned, for example, and they were meant very personal stories. So I learned, for example, things about colonization of Sumatra, and somebody had
history.
History, or there were philosophical speeches about time and space. So in this context, it was for me a very intense way of learning, because it's not, you're physical, not fixed on a chair and staring somewhere on a screen. You move around, you touch this material, and I can see you how it's soothing while you are having something like this.
I cannot let it go.
Yeah. Okay, it's yours as a present.
Cool.
It is also heavy, it's filled with the rest. This I did in Mexico, so it's filled with the
rest of the fabric.
And you see that it's Mexican. Can you see it? I can see it, because the colors
and the ways.
So the weight shows also what you did. It's not always the result. It's also when you look back and you have the feeling it had an impact on your life.
which actually does. I think that we should point at well, there are many interesting concepts here, but the fact that we are losing the capacity of physical interaction and community interaction is very important. We are living more and more digital realities, and then new generations have, as you were saying before, a different way of experiencing and approaching social life and exchanging. No? So I do believe that, yeah, I agree with you. Technologies are great, but having another person in front of you, being able to share your story, being able to feel that the other person's story changes you, right, and helps you grow and helps you learn is just unique, right? There's no technology in the world that can replace that. And I think that's very important for our learning experience design. How can we actually combine and balance resources and spaces and ways of doing, adjusting to the circumstances or the situations?
Yeah, but that's what you also do in the post-institution. The coffee gives also space for live interaction, and this is very important. And like, for example, the thing I do is, because people are quite isolated such a long time, they are also shyer. I made the experience also with students, they are shyer than they were before COVID, or because they are not used to go enter a room and say, hey, that's me, here I am. So with this material, first of all, your task is to bring some own old clothes, what you want to donate, and we cut in pieces and so on. And they have many times something to tell about it. Even if I don't say, find something, they say, oh, look, this I was wearing very many years for football training, and now it's torn. So they come with a story. You see, I mean, and they're not embarrassed because they have something to hold in the hands. And then I tell them to cut it. So it's a bit like, woo, I'm cutting this t-shirt, I'm brave. So there are a lot of emotions also.
It's a little bit of rebellion.
Yeah, of course. Or some people have, it is an ugly shirt. My mother gave it to me. I never liked it. So you see, you are in the place, you're in the here now. Also what he said, attentive. Yeah, Manuel, being attentive and be in the here and now. So you arrived, and you don't have to like react on a question, where as a pupil, oh, do I do right? You can't do wrong, and then even while we are together, we all the time have something in our hands. So this embarrassing moment of teaching or not talking or not knowing what is next is not there, because
it just rolls.
It rolls exactly like those things.
Like weaving.
I can't again, but it doesn't matter. We saw, I think, quite a lot. I don't know why. Maybe it's the last.
Wait, no way.
It doesn't matter. So so this is like, for example, the beginning, and the women. It became during the time more and more women. In this case, I invited women because I wanted awareness for mainly also young women. To have like 100 or 150 years ago, that the women in the winter times, they sat near the oven and they were crafting. And it was not just about making socks for the husband or the newborn baby. It was about exchanging information, and giving, also appreciating the story of the others. And it's in all cultures, is while you sitting, you work together. If you sort rice or whatever, there the real transmitting of information happens.
Yeah, and the storytelling has been there since humanity exists, I think, and that's one of the main ways of understanding life and understanding the world and understanding ourselves, right? Like storytelling has been there forever. And we have, well, here we have the Green Brothers Museum, which is amazing. And the space itself tells the story in a nice way and in a playful way, and with technology, but also with the physical presence, because you have to interact with objects in the space. Yesterday we were visiting it, and it was an amazing format, like for learning a lot of things about the local history, the brothers, the Green Brothers, about German language, about so it's the space, the experience, the process, the companion you have, the people you interact with, and so many things that help us tell those stories, that help us grow in life, like as human beings. This work is amazing.
Yeah, it still continues. I will have a show in October in Munich again with this tipi. But what I wanted to say, I don't want to neglect my sustainability factor, because I'm very into this research about how we treat our clothes. And I know that we have 3 times clothing for the whole population on the whole planet. And even the stuff, and we have an installation here from Kenya near the Orangerie. So I'm very, very happy about this, because that's what I'm always talking about, that this is also part of my teaching, that everything we put in these boxes for recycling clothes, just 20% comes on the market in African countries. 80% is burned on landfills. And I want to stop this by using every bit of cloth, that it will not be sent anywhere by plane or whatever. We use it here, we transform it. And that's also why my mission is going everywhere in the world to raise awareness, not to throw away textile. Even when we can't use it for doing something upcycling anymore, we still can do art from it.
That's
quite
wonderful.
Important message.
That's wonderful, because we have phenomena like the Atacama Desert in Chile, which is a landfill full of clothes, and you can find new clothes there. So it's incredible how we can maybe learn how to make sense.
I will go to Chile also and show them. I don't know. I'm invited to quite a lot of countries with this project. So yeah. So if there are still questions, maybe we have a look.
Yeah,
because the time is running so fast. If I talk about things which are really close to my heart.
Time flies.
Yeah. And I really love the way you are cuddling this object. You want to try? It's really.
Oh, it's so nice to touch.
And the inside is all the rest. When you cut, you have some pieces left over. So I stuff it inside. And when I went through the security, they were, oh my God, they wait, what is it? And finally I decided to put it like this. And I said, oh, I have problems with my neck. It's a health thing. And they let me go through,
This is so
funny,
good. This is so good. This is so good.
So,
do we have any other more pictures here, Chuck?
Maybe this, we missed some, but it's okay. It's okay. So today, maybe it's still important. I will show some techniques how to work with worn out clothes to make, it doesn't matter what we make, we can do something together, or we can make little works. So you're all welcome to come to the moving art gallery, moving point in the Königs Gallery, and transform, weave, not together, and join me in this project.
Thank you so much for this. And I think this brings back all those spaces that we are maybe forgetting about, right? Because of the fast times we live. We need to get together more, and we need to share, and we need to have these human experiences together and grow together. Thank you so much for being with us today, and everybody who is listening. Please join the workshop if you're in Castle, or maybe somewhere else.
Yes, right? Wherever you are, we will make it happen. So thank you so much for inviting me, because it's really an urge for me to give this information to all the world. And it's a platform. It's a very great platform.
Yeah, we will keep the recordings on YouTube, and we will share them via social media. And hopefully we can participate on your workshop.
And create some
and create
nice things.
something. Yeah, we don't know what,
Yeah.
and we don't really care what,
Yeah, no.
but have a nice conversation.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you so
for
much.
being here.